Come one, come all to the mental torture I just put myself through, which is known as the challenge mode Chambers of Xeric. While doing a few raids here and there is good for pretty much anyone, doing 100 of them back to back is not really good for the few brain cells that I have left, and you're gonna see that a lot when I let Live Nick actually speak his mind. Yes, I was dumb and I hit it too hard. Got it, cool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of clips of me just talking overs because that was weird. But in the meantime, let's do a full sped up walkthrough of the Chambers run in the background while I explain a few things here. This is my gear and inventory that I take for all my raids, and here's my current collection log. The last Good and Good episode ended on KC number 52, where I snagged a beautiful Dragon Hunter crossbow. So we are starting here and ending on KC 152. In that time, 100 raids will be completed, and with me averaging around the 38 to 41 minute point in this raid, yeah, it's not going to be fast, but going fast to me in this raid doesn't make it fun. I just like to take my time and of course watch YouTube on the side. For those who don't know what the challenge mode raid is all about, allow me to highlight some of the fun aspects of this challenge. Released back on May 17th, 2018, a full year after the release of the normal Chambers of Xeric, Challenge Mode features longer bosses and a longer dungeon in exchange for more points per raid when compared to its normal counterpart. Each CM raid is the exact same, following a set layout of your beloved monsters and puzzle rooms. Each boss is 50% stronger in all combat stats, with the exception of Olm, who only gets more health. More health for each monster translates over to more points, which is the main driving factor for doing this challenge. That and a few unique rewards that can only be found during the challenge mode raid. Those being the Twisted Ornament Kit, which recolors the ancestral gear, and the Metamorphic Dust, which can transform the Olm pet into various monsters found throughout the raid. Back to those precious points though, because in the end, that's all that I really care about, and I'm sure that's what you care about too. Like other raids, COX runs off of participation points. Every 8,676 points equates to a 1% chance to see a purple light, and at least in my experience, each challenge mode raid done solo averages between 60 and 63-ish thousand points if you don't die, or on average you get a 7% chance to see a purple light. In other words, you should see a unique every 14.2-ish raids. Honestly, that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. With these items going for some ridiculous prices, I only need to snag a few of the higher ticket items to buy my final dream item. But why do I bring all of this up? Because the first 40 raids I saw nothing but white lights. Seriously, I did the math, I checked the wiki a dozen times, I started collecting Mudadile bones before going into the Olm fight just to have something interesting happen during the raid. Even the dry calculator started making fun of me at this rate, and it's almost a bragging point of how dry I was. But since we're here mainly for profit, because of course we are, the Elysian isn't cheap after all, so let's talk about the cost to run a CM in my current gear setup. Starting out with the challenge mode raid, I'm pretty confident in my abilities to not take damage in the Tecton, Grab, Ice Demon, and the Shaman rooms, meaning I take in the bare minimum supplies in terms of potions. I do a prep after these rooms though, which gets me through the rest of the raid, so in the end, I typically burn through 2 full brews, 2.5 stamina potions, and I very rarely use this one restore potion that I bring along, meaning in terms of potions, I average 24k in brews and 22.5k in stamina potions, but I'm just gonna make it around 50k. Everything else I need for food and prayer wise, I just make during the raid or I get them as drops from the monsters. But that's all chump change in terms of my big costing items. That being the Dragon Arrows and all the charges from the Blood Fury, Scythe, Shadow, and the Sanguine SC Staff. Before you flame me, yes, I like using the Sang for the Mage Hand instead of the Shadow method. It's just easier and more relaxing to me, and I can still watch YouTube videos on the side, so yeah, I do that instead of the Shadow method. Back to these items though, it's not a secret things cost a pretty penny to use. Each Shadow cost is roughly 1,000 coins, the Sang is 680 coins, the Scythe is 573 coins, the Blood Fury is 1.2k per charge, and the Dragon Arrows cost 1.3k a pop. I do use Thralls throughout the raid, which is another 1.3k per cast, and I average 13-ish of those per raid. Of course, these prices are in today's market and fluctuate with everything else, but when the main focus of this raid is combat, you can imagine that I drain these charges constantly through this challenge. With each raid having various factors such as splashes, missed hits or super low hits, and the arrows being saved thanks to the assembler, having a solid answer of how much I spend on each raid is pretty difficult to calculate. But by going over 3 raids and averaging some numbers, I on average had a cost of 500k per raid. I'll throw up my notes here on the screen so you can see exactly how I got to that number, and I know this is not exact science, I'm only averaging 3 raids here by using the screenshots that I have from starting and ending those raids, so regardless, going 40 dry here really hurts the mentality and the overall goal of this video, which of course is to make money. The good news is, even without seeing a purple light, the average loot at COX is pretty nice. It's not uncommon at all that I would see a 1 mil drop from the common loot, But there are some raids where you get the dreaded saltpeter and the dark relic drops. Either one of those usually means that I lost money. Thanks to the rewards calculator found on the ancient chest page on the wiki, I can plug in our variables and see on average the non-unique chest is around the 673k mark. So even when I don't get a horrific drop like that saltpeter, it's not like I'm making a whole lot of profit per each run. So purples really do mean everything here. Regardless of the cost, the raids continue on, and I eventually started going for the CM Solo Speed Challenge. Nothing really changed in terms of what I personally did during all of the rooms, but the big thing that changed was prep and the bank standing time. Earlier runs, I would hit up the scavs right before the Ice Demon room, make enough supplies for the entire run, and then take my sweet time banking items in between rooms or floors. The main strategy that I do now is just to make 7 brews and rely on all of those throughout the entire run and all the drops that I get from the bosses. After Ice Demon dies, he drops 7 juices, and after grabbing the Buchu seeds from the shamans, I make my 7 potions, and off I go. The quality of life here is really nice, considering that more monsters drop overloads and the brews at a constant rate. But when added all together, the time eventually fell down once I got used to knowing what I need in my inventory at a given time, and I eventually hit the achievement. Come on, please. Yes. Did I get it? Yes! Oh my god, it's way too late to be celebrating. Oh my god, yes! Unfortunately, that's all that I have to show for you for 44 straight raids. Almost half the grind is done here. But eventually, a fun sign appears in some raids that shows that hope shouldn't be abandoned here. There's no way I just got a long bone from one of the mystics here. What is that drop rate? When that bone appears and you've lost your mind and you bring in Muddle Dial bones into your inventory as a fun way to keep track of how dry you are, you take this as a sign and bring it into the Olm fight instead. Alright. Oh, longbone in inventory. See the raid. Oh my god, it is the raid. Oh my god, I got something. Oh my god. This is like grade 44 dry. Oh, if it's a prayer scroll, I'm gonna cry. All thanks to the longbow. Let's go. Aw. With that dry streak done, the eventual satisfying number pops up and you get a consolation prize of that cape and a peek at the collection log at the big number 100. We got some big hitters here, and I know that the T-bow is from a normal run, 2 ancestral pieces, the most expensive ones were received earlier, and the Dragon Hunter crossbow, some scrolls. It's not the most in terms of uniques, considering how many runs I've done in the normal and the CM categories, but I really can't complain too much, and I'm pretty proud with this log. After all, we're only halfway to our goal of 152 raids, so let's skip through all the boring runs, because after making enough videos regarding COX and regurgitating the same information, there's only so much fun that I can have talking about a raid that's been out for 7 years. Oh, it's really bad when you're milking it down to a T. Yes! God. Yes! Oh, I thought I was gonna hit another 50 dry streak. Drop it all. Pants off. Let's go. God. Dang it. It's always the text, man. It's... It works. Bring in Muddle bones. It works. Oh, please. Anything but a dex. We've gotten 2 of them back to back. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my god, that's insane. Oh my god, that's the second mega rare. Oh my god, that's insane. That's so insane. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god, we have to be so close. We have to be so close. Hi, yeah, I'm popping in already. What I'm talking about here is getting close to being able to buy the Ellie, and yeah, I need to stop playing this game super late at night, because there's no way at this current time that I was even close to buying the Ellie, and I have no idea why I got so hyped for it. If I scraped all my gear together, including selling my melee set, I still didn't have enough money for the Ellie, so let's just move on to the next clip. Oh, was not expecting another one of these. That's interesting. Another Twisted Kit. First one that I don't actually need. Ooh. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. I don't think there's anything you can do with them either. There's 4 of them. Wow. Yeah. Well, looks cool in the bank. Now, at this time, this is when I really started to lose my mind, and I will admit I became fascinated with everything and anything different that happened in the raids, like yet another long bone drop from the shamans, which I was convinced if I picked up and made it never leave my inventory, I would be guaranteed a drop, which of course did not happen. It's also important to note that I consistently messed up the Vanguard rooms after getting the Twisted Kit. Like, I really don't think I have a clip of me getting it done right once after that, so, yeah. Oh my, I actually get to talk. Oh my. Oh, we are so close to the goal. So close. There's so many items that could fix this. Please. Please don't be a Dex. Don't be an Arcane. Almost anything else gets me to my goal. And finally, we have the final raid. Raid number 152 and our last chance at seeing a purple this video. And wouldn't you know it, the raid gods were smiling on me this day. All right. That is the end of the show. Last chance for a purple. Come on, please. Please, please, please. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my god, yes. Please. There's so many items that could fix this, and I could be done. Oh my god, please. Please, something nice. Yes. Yes, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, that's the second Hunter crossbow. Oh my god. Dragon Hunter crossbow. Jeez. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. What set it off this whole journey was the Dragon Hunter crossbow at 52 KC. And here we are at 152 seeing it yet again. Oh, that is so amazing. So there we have it. 100 raids have been completed and the last and final item has been received. For those interested in only the raids completed in this video, here is my collection log. The new items in this video are of course 3 Dex drops, the 4th Twisted Kit, 1 Arcane, the Kodai, and a 2nd Dragon Hunter crossbow. This totaled up to a whopping 228 mil. This is just uniques, by the way. I think on average I did gain a few 100,000 from the common rewards during this, and I did end up doing like 6 or 7 master clues during the making of this video, which I'm not going to be showing any of them off because looking at my notes, the highest one that I got was just over 200k, which is awful. Regardless, this is the profit that I made from 100 challenge mode Chambers of Xeric runs. For those following along with the Getting Good at RuneScape series, I did sell a ton of items in my bank to achieve the single dream item. Some of those notable items that I sold off were of course the drops in this video, a Dragon Hunter Lance and a Saturated Heart that I was playing around with when the chamber sounded exhausting, the Sanguine SD Staff, the Elder Maul, the Light Bearer, a whole bunch of runes, scales, logs, anglerfish, a bunch of stuff that I just gathered while I was editing videos. But after I cleaned all that junk out of the bank, I finally bought the Ellie for 722 mil, completing the dream list that I started this whole series out wanting. So what's next? The account will not be left to rot, don't worry at all. The main goal now is just to train up all my stats to max. After that, I'll eventually be coming back for another really long grind to upgrade my Bando's melee gear set to a full Torva set, and eventually get the quiver from the Coliseum, maybe get Plorva somewhere in there, I don't know. Right now, I do have serious plans in the future for this account, but I want to max first. We will just get there one day. While I train and max this account, there's of course a ton of downtime there, and I'll be starting up an Iron Man series in the meantime, like thousands of other people do when they just try to max an account or they already have a maxed out account. But I hope to make this just as interesting and entertaining as I've done here. And with that said, I hope my first video coming out on the Iron Man series pops up here within like a week or two. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be alerted when the series finally starts up. With that all said and done, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Good luck on your grinds and your personal goals, and I hope to see you again very soon. Stay inspired.